Regular council meeting of the village of Armada will now come to order, please. Everyone stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm sort of getting over a cold, so I'm not going to blow too hard at you people.
I was wondering who was talking. I looked at the camera, I didn't recognize the voice.
I'm not going to raise your face.
I just moved away from you, so
All right, I forgot my mask here.
that's okay.
First is the roll call, please.
Shaw?
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Cronin?
Here.
Belkey?
Here.
Slutz?
Here.
Ballard?
Here.
Wolock?
Here. Approval of the agenda, what's council wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Citizen comments, floor is open up to citizens at this time. Nobody, all right. So there's no presentations tonight. We have the treasurer's report, F&V report, DPW report, commissioner's report from Trustee Belkey, and commissioner liaison reports if there's any. So what are the wishes of the council?
Just a couple items here. I did call John at American Tree. American Tree is holding the 24 trees that Fort County Community Foundation bought for us. They have agreed to winter them. If there's desire to plant, John would say there's still 3 to 4 weeks of planting season. We can pull them out of there, but if not, he's got them bedded down for the winter, and we'll hold them till the spring. I did a little bit of research on Steve Nichols' questions. I did get his initial question from Becky, but I didn't get question number 2, which was if you use water, I guess for agricultural purposes only, can you opt out of paying sewer fees? I don't even know if that's quite the question, but in any case, the code of ordinance is pretty specific. So I'm going to send him a note back and just cite the ordinances, and most of it's in the sewer section, not the water section, but I will send him a note on that. I want to make sure I clearly understood what his second question was. And I guess there's a third question that comes out of it. This is on me, but if you pull water from a well that's drilled for agricultural purposes only, can you dispose of the water through the storm sewer system? And I would say that, again, in the code of ordinances, it indicates that the village has to allow that. You know, who knows what kind of runoff you're going to have. So I think it's pretty well buttoned down in the code of ordinances, but I will get back with Steve and answer his specific questions. With respect to media delivery, I have called McIntyre's and bopped them on the head a couple times. We sent money to them about a month and a half ago, maybe a month and a half, I don't know. In any case, I would have thought things had moved forward a little bit faster than they have. I guess we shouldn't be surprised by supply chain shortages and delays in production and manufacturing. In any case, they have, as of Friday, forwarded the money to the 2 companies that are working to produce the media. Still waiting on key dates to come out of that, the submitting the money, such as when will production be complete, when will they ship, and when will we exchange the media. Those are 3 key dates that I need so that I can do my advanced planning. Anyway, I'm hounding McIntyre's a little bit to get that information, but I don't have it yet. And we continue to discuss with Dixon Engineering, possibly inspecting vessel number 4. We would void out the vessel which has to be done anyway when you do the media exchange. We would leave that vessel empty. You generally operate on less water during the colder months of the year, so we don't think it's going to be a significant issue to do that. And while it's empty, we would inspect it, and based upon that inspection, infer the condition of the other 3 vessels. Vessel 4 being probably the vessel that gets the hardest use because it's by the at the end of the discharge chain. So that process or that discussion continues. There would be an extra cost in that for Dixon to come in and inspect. Dixon is the guy that comes and inspects our elevated tower. So it's somebody we have worked with, but possibly an additional cost. In this case, not to McIntyre's, but to Dixon to do the inspection. More to follow on that. A lot going on there, fairly complicated with Rowe involved, F&B involved, Dixon Engineering involved, and myself. So, and I think that's it for the commissioner report.
How much is Dave involved in this, Ross?
Dave Wagner?
Yeah,
Oh, Dave is always involved.
yeah.
Yeah, when we did the initial meeting a couple weeks ago, 3 to 4 weeks ago, Dave was very much involved. He obviously is going to be part of the operation, but McIntyre's is really going to do the voiding of the tanks and refilling the tank with the media. That's separate and distinct from this Dixon issue that I'm talking about, but Dave will be heavily involved in it.
Yeah, it's really extremely important that he knows everything that's going on here.
Yeah.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Stewart is here from the sewer plant, so.
Okay, you want to get them in right away so you don't have to stay, right?
Come on, Stuart, stick around.
Very good. Walk the story.
They're bringing gifts for the people that let me out early.
Get your trail mix.
At the plant site itself, the wastewater plant, the grading is done. There'll be seeding and that in the spring. We're not going to grow tomato plants as was suggested by a couple people. The piping for all the SBRs and the air and everything is all done at this point. We're waiting for testing permission from Aqua Aerobics so that we can proceed with the last bit of testing and everything, since this is the last of the 3 vessels, tanks if you will, that are being put into operation. Before, all we were doing was switching sludge and that from one tank to the other as we came through. This last one, we don't have any extra sludge. It's going to have to be cultured and grow its own sludge, and it's going to have to come up slow and everything, and Aqua Aerobics has got to be involved in that. They're going to do extra testing for the project in addition to the testing that F&B does. So the blowers are done. We're waiting for programming from Aqua Aerobics. Site cleanup is about 90% done. Trailers they told me they're going to be done, moved out tomorrow.
Okay.
So hopefully, weather permitting, everything will be doing with that. So operation-wise, we've had much improved alarm systems. That will be, it looks like it's going to be a lot less emergency call-outs, a lot less cost to the village in overtime and running back and forth during events. It's natural events. So there's a lot more redundancy now in that we have blowers and everything that works and works well, even with one whole unit down and everything. We have gotten in touch with Biotech last Friday for sludge hauling, and they're like everybody else. They're waiting for a dry field. It was reported that October was one of the wettest Octobers on record, and it was for Monroe County, which is just south of us, it was the wettest October on record. So still waiting for dry weather there. We're still looking at getting the electrical work done, minor little things on the outside of the plant. We've approached Best Electric, and Steve had somebody he was going to talk to too, and we're working on that, and we'll finalize all that. UIS will be here on site when Aqua Aerobics is here. They are the people that monitor all the alarms and everything. And lastly, there hasn't been any trash pickup lately because of all the clutter of equipment and other things there. So we're making do.
Okay.
Stuart, I'm gonna just take advantage of the moment. Again, I'm sure everybody knows that the water department report for F&B is in with the sewer system report, so Stuart comes and talks sewer. I just wanna mention that the water system is fairly well balanced now. We've done a lot to ensure that the system performs the same way all the time, and it seems to be doing that, which is great. We get 2 of our 4 scales tomorrow, delivered tomorrow. You might recall last meeting we bought 4 new scales for the water treatment plant, the 3 well houses, so 2 of them are going to be delivered and installed tomorrow.
Tomorrow, not Wednesday?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at 9 o'clock. They're showing up at the DPW, so you and I can both kill Wally, because he knew that. Surprise.
I had it down as Wednesday because I got to be somebody else. So
Yeah, no, it should not be a big deal.
Okay.
It should be fairly easy to do. And we did have Peerless come out and check well pump number 6. Well pump number 6 was underwent some emergency servicing last year. The warranty is about to expire. We felt it was running a little hot. Maybe no surprise, Peerless says, no, that's within operational parameters, which means it'll probably blow right after warranty expires. In any case, they said that it's okay. It's within tolerances. They did come out and they checked it. So that's all I have. Thank you.
The wastewater department is also concerned about the arsenic levels when we do the cleaning and everything, and so we'll be working with the water department on that.
Yeah. Actually, Dave, when we had the meeting about a month ago now, almost, Stuart was involved, because when we do the media exchange, it will affect what goes on down at the wastewater treatment plant. Got to watch the what they call a slug of sludge. As we take everything out and wash the tanks out, it's going to get pushed down to the wastewater treatment plant. So we can meter it through our current arsenic detention sump that we have, but we've got to watch it carefully. The new one, if we ever get it installed, will help us manage the flow much better. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks.
Thanks, Stuart. Thanks, Stuart.
thanks, Stuart.
I do have one question here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Steve, that breaker for
That's one of the little things we want to get taken care of that isn't part of the contract down there. There's a few little incidents, like that one that's above in the ceiling.
Yeah, above the refrigerator.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So that's one of a couple of things we want to get taken care of. So.
Okay.
Have a safe trip home there, Stuart.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Safe trip
See you
home.
tomorrow.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else from the trustee council? Not. General business? At the consent agenda. Approval of the regular council meeting minutes of November the 8th and the payment of bills. What is the council wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda to be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported, Ballard and Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
And I abstained.
From
He wasn't
minutes.
at the meeting, that's right. So he lost some money.
I did.
Billy saved some money though, Mr. Clark, didn't we?
We're over there trying to help the Greek economy.
Oh, okay. Well, I helped him in Detroit. so.
Yeah.
Old business, the sewer plant again.
I
Mr.
don't
Clark.
have anything else to
All right,
say except Stuart did.
good, okay.
Do you want me to take this off of old business and you can just do it under commissioner reports? Or doesn't it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We should just leave it till we're.
Okay. I took
done.
Ross off there, so.
Yeah.
Booted you.
Booted me.
New business, adopt a resolution of support for conducting community heart and soul process. It's council solutions.
Okay, as you know, I've been in here with Kathy Dinkins to discuss the community heart and soul visioning process with council. We had Kathy come in, she gave a short presentation on the process. We've been before the township board where it was fairly well received. And so what I'm doing is coming back now to council. I'm trying to lay the groundwork to see this happen. I'll be honest with you. I think it should happen. And especially in the wake of the tornado and the experiences post bad weather. And I think it will be great for the community. So this is laying groundwork here. What we believe, Kathy and I, is that the Orton Family Foundation and Fort County Community Foundation will jointly fund this effort so that it's no cost to the village or the township. And this is as you might recall, this is an Armada area initiative. It doesn't just affect the village, it affects the township, and the Armada area school district would also have an opportunity to participate. The intent is really to talk to the community and find out what's most important to the community both now and into the future. I put a little discussion paper in there at the head of the resolution. I'm not going to read it all, but it does indicate that the process takes approximately 18 months to 2 years to complete. If you do it right, it's a 4-phase, 11-step approach. There's a number of communities that have already gone through it across the country. To name a few of them, Golden, Colorado, Biddeford, Maine, Damariscotta, Maine, Essex, Vermont, Cortez, Colorado, Gardner, Maine, Mount Blanchard, Ohio, Macomb, Ohio, and Frankenmuth, Michigan is actually in process right now. They've had a few delays because of COVID. Again, I think it's a no-brainer. This will help us as we try to envision what the future is going to be for both the village of Armada and the township. And I strongly recommend approving the attached resolution. I don't think I have to read this, do I?
No, just adopt the resolution.
Can I answer any questions about it before we go forward? Again, this is trying to set the stage and show to the Orton Family Foundation and Fort County that we are interested and we're supportive. If you note on the second page of the resolution, second paragraph from the bottom, it indicates that the village is interested in the effort and is willing to participate in the process, but does not commit or bind the village to financially support the effort. Certainly, if you find value in it after it's underway and want to put money to it, that's something we can do. But this resolution specifically says at this point that we're all for it, but at this point we're not going to put money behind it because we don't even know that we're going to do it yet. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the resolution of support for conducting the community heart and soul process within Armada Township, the Village of Armada, and the Armada Area School District.
Support.
Moving and supported, any further discussion?
So Ross, would there be any money from the Fort County Foundation if we, get into this process? Have they?
Well, I think once the municipal governments are on board, then my intention would be to have some of the community social organizations and community organizations come to a information meeting to ensure that they're behind it, because frankly, ABA is going to pull in businesses, Chamber may pull in other people, the Lions Club will pull their members, the Seniors Center has a number of people that they can communicate with. Again, this is all about getting the residents.
And then what are they gonna do in the end? What's the end product of this?
The end product is a action plan for the future. It's essentially, as we talked about a couple
For a
meetings.
disaster or something?
Pardon?
For a disaster or end plan for
No,
what?
It's,
The future.
it's where do we want to take the village now, right? So, and where do we want to take the township? What do we want to see these to become in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Where do the people want to take it? Which is frankly
How does
what we're
this-
here to do.
How does this go along or conflict with like a master plan that you do through your community planners?
I would say it's a master plan probably on steroids, because master plan doesn't necessarily talk to
Because
everybody.
at first I thought this was supposed to be like a disaster relief thing to help people who had financial losses like through the tornado
No.
thing.
A lot of these other communities that
I'm
I
not even
mentioned-
sure what I'm voting on here, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, it's not that I
It's
haven't
like the
asked
bills
questions
in
before.
Congress,
A lot of these other communities that have been involved are locations where they've lost business, industry has left, where they see people in the community dwindling, the kids don't see a future and are leaving, any number of problems, you name it, right? And the communities come together to undertake these visioning processes to decide what makes the community whole, and where should it go in the future? What should it be in the future? What do they want to become in the future? So, as I say, it's a master plan on steroids, because it's not necessarily looking solely at planning. Now, our master plan is 6 years out of date, so we don't have an active master plan in my mind, right? We've got a plan. Is it updated? I don't know. The intention behind this is to not just look at the planning aspects of the community, but to look at what types of businesses we want here, what type of business growth do we want here, what do we want the community to represent. One of the reasons why we were playing off of the tornado is because one of the things that it did is it brought a lot of the residents out that I would have never expected would have helped neighbors, but they're helping their neighbors. People from outside of the community, people in the township coming to help village residents, people in the village going to help township residents, people from outside the community coming in to help us. Pretty awesome, right? And so I'd like to retain that spirit into the future. This is a process that may help identify what's the essence of that and help us bottle it so we can actually take it into the future.
So Dave, when are we doing the update? What is it, it's 5 years?
So I don't know when we're gonna do an update to it. We've spent a lot of money in the past with very little return. Well, you've been involved in some things.
Two rights of it.
Steve, you've been involved, I think.
I've been involved in it.
Yep.
So
It does kind of plan, like for growth, you got a financial, you got a industrial area and different things. But again, Armada's so small, it's a little hard and, but we've used it for some things.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the annexation plans are in there.
I'm not sure I wanna commit a lot of money to doing another one
Yeah, they're not cheap.
at the time. very expensive.
So how do we think this process compares?
I don't
to-
even understand this process, to be honest with you.
Well,
At first, I
right.
thought it had to do mainly
That's
with
how we got to
when you brought that lady here and everything, I thought it was to help people now.
It's a
but-
it's a visioning process. Well,
Yeah.
That's not what she came for in the first place. It was
What's
here,
that?
it was what Dave said. So the opportunity, she was here for one thing, that opportunity was missed, the second thing came up, and now this is our
no,
third.
Right.
well,
this
there
is
were
our
two
third
things
thing.
talked about at that meeting.
So,
One was that we were looking at an initiative to do some kind of thank you to the community, right? That's the $1,000 which transitioned into trees, right? That's what that was about. So that got asked about at that meeting, but she was here to provide a
Yeah.
presentation on community heart and soul.
Yeah, she
Which-
was on a little something different than we thought she was here for. Maybe not with you, but the rest of
Well,
us.
then we muddled the message a little bit, but this is a visioning process. And again, the key aspect of this is it's intended to go out and talk to everybody. And we have large sectors of the community, I don't think, that have a voice or have a chance to be heard, right? As evidenced by one guy in the audience of our council meeting. So that's really what this is trying to change. If you guys read what was in the resolution, you'll see the four-step plan in there and what the intention is behind it. But at the end of the day, it comes up with an action plan. Very much like a master plan, the master plan is an action plan if the municipal government and other service organizations are willing to do anything with it, right? That's the key. So this isn't going to make magic happen, but it's going to bring people together, especially if it's free, not a bad thing, bring people together to figure out where they really want to take this community into the future. I don't know that any of us know here. And the master plan doesn't really give us much of the current master plan doesn't give us much of an idea. So if Orton Family Foundation and Fort County Community Foundation think that this is a worthy project and they're willing to fund it for us, I would say we should go for it. And so again, this is not asking us to put up any money. It may never cost us any money, right? It's just an indication that we're willing to go through the process.
so how do they handle the county and the state? Like, I mean, your plan is you can't act upon it until the county and the state approve it.
Well, this is
So
not
having that- I
gonna,
mean, so
this
it's
is,
different, what we've got is no different than what is there, everything you've got is already in the master plan. Now, granted,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know,
even
I don't know
date
that
it.
that's true though, Chris. I don't know that
Absolutely,
that's
it's
true.
true. It is dated, I agree with that. You know, we got the newest, 2020 census.
But
and everything,
we're still kind of going by
But
that.
my
as
point
far
with it
as-
is that if we got a 2020, because we always get caught being off the census cycle too, but now that we're after 2020, that's great, instead of right before it. And then you have the, as you mentioned about using, the McKenna model. If there's an update and like we did with the ordinances, try to rewrite them ourselves, you can use that and then kind of roll the two in together to make an update, but you still gotta get through that process, because none of those actions can be without other government approvals.
Well, this isn't asking for any government's approval. This is for.
I know, but you said
This
it's
is
a
for-
plan, so a plan is, unless you act upon it, it doesn't
No,
matter
you-
anyway,
you-
so.
You don't need the state's or the county's permission to act upon a plan if it's not a master plan connected with zoning. That's not what this is. It's master plan-like, but the master plan processes that I've been involved in never bring all of the members of the community in. In fact, you're lucky if you get 50 people in the room. We got, 6,000 residents out here? Plus you got a larger group of people involved in the Armada Area School District, plus you got business owners that you can't really ignore business owners. Just because they don't live here doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to them, right? You want industry, you want business. So this is really intended to get everybody's 2 cents involved. And it comes up with an action plan that the municipality could work facets of it. Community organizations could work certain facets of it, right? The school district could work certain facets of it, and everybody at least gets a voice, and we, as elected leaders, get to hear what the community truly wants us to be in the future. The master plan is not going to do that.
I disagree 100%, and it's exactly what you said. School district, the superintendent ran with his school board to fill in the school plans. Parks, and you did the parks one with the community art inventory. Water, sewers, and streets were accounted for. Residents were accounted. The annexation plan was accounted for. The industrial.
This is not just
the
infrastructure,
ADA
this is not just for
businesses were
infrastructure.
put there about what we wanted to do with downtown and things
Chris,
like
our
that.
plan is
The
at
ADA.
least 6 years out of date.
I didn't say it wasn't dated, and it needs to be brought to current.
Okay,
I'm saying is
so-
that there is a process that we already had, and it is
But
what
still
you
in
need.
effect,
You need
you
to
know.
use it to actually do anything with. This process
Yeah,
here, if
you
you want
need
to
to use it to do anything with.
what do you want to, I think that if you want to do something like this.
We're not really 6 years out of date. For one thing, the boundaries haven't changed any of the community.
Well, okay, so I'm just, you're talking about the state having to approve it. I'm just going back to the state saying you will update your master plan every 6 years. We're 6 years out of date, or 5 years, whatever it is. We're out of date. So, tell me what you're afraid of here.
I'm not afraid of anything. I wish you'd make the motion. I'll support it.
Oh, I did make the
I-
motion.
I'll,
Yeah, I support it.
okay. I mean, I don't mind voting for it, but, because it's not cost us anything, I'm willing to see what they've got to say. But
Does it?
I'm not willing to commit any kind of resources to it.
Well,
all.
that's exactly what this says.
And really, you mentioned other cities, well, these are all out of state, Ross.
Frankenmuth is.
Yeah.
That's a state that you.
But you could only could find one in the state of Michigan. It seemed to me if there was a bunch in this
No,
state,
She
They
said that
would've
it was
been
a
listed.
newer program. I mean, this
It's-
isn't, yeah.
And they do wonders, in Frankenmuth. They're always moving on something.
Yes.
And I see one, I'm not comfortable with one in here with out-of-staters, and actually mentioning Fort County. Fort County has helped, I know the school a lot. And look, now they came in to help us with the trees. I honor that. It's free stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I can't just go ahead and vote for something, it's just one community involved. You said tenants of it.
These are, I'm just referencing communities that have tried this process. So, do you need more information from me? I mean, I can get you more information.
But I'm satisfied with the plan to be updated instead of just going on
Well, I
something,
think you have to. I think
another
it's
plan
both.
deal.
Pardon?
This won't
This is another
take
plan.
over for the master plan.
This does
I'm
not,
voting for another master.
this does not substitute for the master plan.
Right.
Again, what I'm trying to do now is lay the groundwork to go back to Fort County and potentially Orton Family Foundation and say, community's interested, will you pay for it? Right? I don't think we have the money right now.
I don't mind listening to them.
I think they've done wonders with the school in the past. And if we probably needed something and we asked them, Ross, I think they would come and ask, give it. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, I mean, Kathy feels that the Armada area would be a great spot to try this out. Does it mean that we have to do anything with the action plan? No, but I would certainly like to canvass the community wide, the wider community is a better way to say it, and find out where they really want us to go.
They don't
I don't
always
think
show
we
up.
know all of what they want.
They don't always show up.
Pardon?
They don't always show up.
Well, that's one of the things that this is really intended to do, is go and find those people that don't show up, the few people that feel marginalized.
Well, in the
and get
past,
them
they
to
haven't
have
shown
a
up in the past years that I've lived here, and it's been a long time, 82 years.
Well, I mean, it's only conjecture why they don't come, but maybe they don't come because they don't think they're gonna be listened to. I don't know. I think it's a great opportunity, and Fort County, I trust Fort County and have worked with them, and Marv, you're right, they've done a lot for us, and
I
they
look
feel
up
that
to
we
them.
would be a good candidate for this, and if they're willing to pay for it, I'd say we shouldn't be afraid of it, we should try it and see what comes of it.
And the members are really, as far as I'm concerned, very honorable.
Yeah, there's a number, in fact, John from American Tree used to be a past board member, and he said it's a great organization and they do wonderful things for the community.
What's a
Let
great
them do something
What is
wonderful
a great
for us.
organization? The Fort County?
Fort County.
Right. That's not up to discussion. We're not criticizing the 4 counties at all.
No, I don't think it is that. I just,
You know, this is a little different than,
What?
it's a community-wide visioning opportunity that talks to all of the residents, the businesses, the schools. It's not zoning
who's
specific.
talking to all the residents?
Well, you get
The 4
facility.
counties coming in
You
here?
have, yes, there is a
The Orton family.
a team lead and then a local team lead, and then there's facilitators that are also local people that talk to the seniors, that talk to the schools, that talk to the businesses, that talk. I'd like to see what people think makes this community the great community it is.
The biggest thing, really, is the tax base. We don't have it. We need to annex.
Well, that's a
We
different
can't
story,
talk that though.
you know. Why don't we vote on this?
I think we should call for the vote instead, the discussion's enough. It's repeating. I don't like repeating.
Well, I'm just trying to find out what the concerns about it are. I don't see any concerns here right now, especially if somebody else is gonna.
I don't have any concerns, it's just, I guess I didn't understand. When she came in here and everything, I thought she was here for one reason, and I'm very disappointed to find out that they were never really about trying to help citizens who were in need in this community who got hit by that tornado.
I would be careful about that because they've got an Armada disaster fund that they've helped collect money on.
Fort County has given
Wait, but
families,
how are they distributing?
I don't know if any families get distributed money, but I hope they did.
They did give some money to the Lions, I guess, to distribute. That was in the form of the gas cards. I don't know much about that. You'd have to talk to Kathy about that.
Yeah.
They do have another Armada disaster fund. I'm not sure exactly what the amount of money is in that fund. I can go find out for council if you want. They've tried to help, and one of the things that they suggested was this would be a way to help us capitalize on some newfound strengths that we saw after the tornado and help the community coalesce a little bit.
I think we can see a lot of that ourselves, period.
Incidentally, just one thing to disagree with you a lot
I'd
on.
like to call for the vote.
What people did after that did not surprise me at all. I was not surprised by how people helped each
Okay,
other.
let's bottle that.
We have called for the order.
You want me to roll?
Yes, roll call.
Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Sleds,
Yes.
Ballard,
No.
Wallach,
No,
Shaw.
Yes. Thank you.
motion carried.
I want to add just one thing to that because I did talk to Kathy Dickens about the money that's being collected for victims. I'm a victim, so I was curious. Not that I was looking for money, but I wanted to be able to tell the community how to access the money if it was available. And she had told me then that they had to distribute to a nonprofit, that they could not distribute just to people. I did try to find out, because I know there were 2 other groups that were out there collecting money, and I have never heard where any of that money went.
Yeah.
I have not been able to track that down. I don't know if they also gave it to, because I was trying to hook Fort County up with the other group of people that were collecting money at the park right during the tornado to help victims. As a victim, I've never found anywhere where anything was available. I mean, there's never been, even the Lions Club gas cards, that was the first time I'd heard of that. You know, how are people being notified that this stuff is available? And I have not been able to get that answer. So I just want you guys to know, I mean, I did work on that after, because as the clerk, I wanted to be able to give that information to our public if they asked. But as a victim, I wanted to know what the process was, and I don't know where the money went.
I will talk to Kathy about that. Again, all Fort County did was they were the recipient of any money. We recommended that people give money to Fort County in the name of Armada Disaster Relief, not to these other organizations.
When did we recommend this?
When did
This board didn't recommend.
No, the
give
board
money.
didn't. I did, I think Michelle did.
I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, but you did that as a private citizen, not as a representative of
Then
the
I
board.
did it as a private citizen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rather than give money to whoever had their.
Joe Blow collecting money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fort County said that they could receive money in support, and they've got open public books, so I don't think they're doing
Right.
anything bad.
No,
And I
I'm not.
They're a good
They're the only
organization.
ones that
That's not
answer.
the
I
question.
suspect any
Yeah.
money that they have is still sitting there, waiting for somebody from the village to contact them to say who to distribute it to. So I suspect
Yeah,
that.
but the
But
village,
you said-
yeah, we were not in the,
I
in the
don't
frame
know.
of mind to collect
Like I
any
said,
money for
no.
anything, we weren't gonna do that.
Yeah.
But I understand where Kat, because I spoke to Kathy, and it's like, and she was phenomenal, and everything was great. That's great, give it to the Lions Club. I thought in the beginning that the other groups were collecting money if they, because I wondered how you were gonna distribute it. How do I tell a resident that was hard hit, hey, contact this group of people, they have a tree available, they have money for you, they can, you can, gas cards, whatever. And I don't really know how to get a hold of the one group, the other group, they folded. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't
so
know
I
who
just
these other
want, I want
groups
people to
are,
understand that if you did give money, that did not come to the village. Like, we were never in the business of giving out money. I don't know where the money is. So, I mean,
For
I
these
can,
other groups.
for these other groups. Kathy did tell me that, and then she mentioned here about the gas cards. That's first I've heard of it. But again, I don't know how to tell people how to access any of that if it's there for them, any people that were affected. And how do you prove that they were affected?
In the effect also, I've had families come to me, private property, they can't get any relief from their insurance companies, especially from trees.
Preach into the church? No, trees aren't covered.
They can't do nothing about it. They can do the whole wipeout, and you can't get a cent from the insurance companies.
Oh, I could believe that,
And,
because
you know,
I got my
it's-
own insurance issues.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And so is the foundation gonna come in just because, you're a senior citizen, for instance, and you can't afford to clean the property up? I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
They borrow and steal.
it's nice if they could, but, there's some rules and regulations they have to follow through.
Yeah, like Fort County cannot give to residents, and that
Right,
made
they
total
can't.
sense to me.
They're gonna
and-
give
and
it
I-
See, like I say,
Yeah.
that's one that hurts. So
Yeah.
you talk to somebody else and say, why the hell should I listen to you? You're not gonna do nothing for me anyhow. That's all you're all with.
Yeah. It just got, obviously I wasn't here, for the first week after that happened because I was hit. And once things settled down, I knew that people had collected money, and I thought,
We just
well,
talked about it.
if they're all going to do it, I thought, give it all to Fort County, and then Fort County can figure out where it goes. And if that happened, I apologize, maybe it did. Maybe I just don't know, but I don't believe it did, because I don't know that that's been clarified.
I don't know much about it either, other than it was fairly confusing, and I heard that there was a lot of Facebook queries about giving money,
Yep,
and the people that I had talked to that told me that, said I, Ross, private citizen, would recommend to give it to Fort County because they're a nonprofit and they will track the money and keep books on it. Now, again, I suspect that there's money sitting there at Fort County to be distributed. Kathy has always said, I need to have information about how you guys want it distributed.
yeah.
So,
And unfortunately,
it's-
we're not in the business of figuring out who gets money and who
right,
doesn't.
and
So
they would,
so you're saying, but somehow I don't think this sounds right, but you're saying they're sitting on somewhat of a pile of money and they
I think
don't
it's-
ask us, what should we do with it?
I don't think
That
it's,
don't sound like the way the four counties operate.
I don't
boss.
think it's a pile of money. I think it's like $900 or $700 or something is what I believe it is. But I will go back to Kathy and ask, what monies do they have in their Armada Area Disaster Relief Fund? And I'll report back to council
How to get it up.
the
And
next
I
meeting
will also
about
seek
that.
out the other people that I do know that were collecting money and see what they have done with it.
Those I don't
Yeah.
know who that would be.
Yeah.
I just,
Well, I'm not,
But
I'm
do
gonna
have
check it
a
out
lot
before I
of
say,
respect for the Fort County. I'm not trying to knock Fort County.
Yeah.
And I think if they were sitting on a pile of money, she'd be calling you saying, hey, what do you want me to do?
I
with
had,
this?"
I only
if it
talked to her
was-
because I called her.
Yeah,
Because I knew that was one organization that was collecting.
If it was a lot, well, again,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily responsible for this. All I know is
Yeah.
that they took money and we said, instead of giving it to this guy who we don't know, give it
Right.
to Fort County. That's a better place to park money if you're gonna get really sincere about disaster relief. And I will call Kathy and find out how much money. I don't think it's a lot. So,
I was never
Well,
asked, nobody asked me where to
but
get
as
money
a board,
to.
we don't tell anybody to give anybody any money.
I don't think there's any kind of a
No,
motion
we've
we're
not.
gonna be talking
No,
about
but
right now.
the one we did,
No.
the
I'd
motion
rather-
we did do,
I'd
should we
rather
not
call
move
it-
this, Dave, you're the planning liaison, should we be moving it into Dave's court to run with it from there with planning?
Well, we gotta see
At this
where
point.
this
That's what I'm
goes.
saying, but go ahead, you
This-
should be now be the one, that since it is a planning, and, you know,
Yeah.
talk to her and start that with the Orton Foundation and see what, yeah, see where you go with it.
Concede.
I would be happy to have you
No,
be, since I'm involved with it, be the council liaison
I don't
when
know,
we
you got
have
a full
this
board now planning?
meeting in probably a month with, gonna ask the Lions, gonna ask the Fair Board, gonna ask, again, to solicit their support. We'll have you come in.
I'm not ready to be part of this right now, Ross.
Just a representative to hear it. You're the skeptic, so you can come and you can bring back to council what you think you've heard.
Yeah, but you're not ready, but I would still need, this whole thing needs to, as far
It
as.
is not, it's not
The council
specifically-
liaison, yes, it is, that is the
Yeah.
whole thing about it, and it should be going through
Wait
there.
wait a minute.
So,
It's not
that's fine.
necessarily a planning vehicle. It's just,
Sure it is.
it's a,
You just said the exact same things that it covers in planning.
You know,
And Dave being the liaison
it-
for it, I think it should go.
I
ahead.
disagree with that.
Run it.
That is not what this really is, but it could stand as a master plan of sorts because it's leading the municipality into the future, but it's not specifically related to planning and zoning. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, Joe's gonna run out of tape.
Just gonna run out of tape.
All right, yeah.
Oh, wait, counting her seconds.
She's gonna say.
Hold out your hands.
Up and coming agenda items, council? None?
Well, I'll just come back with information from Bill County.
Okay.
We'll just
Short?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't even be a motion, that'd be under
I
administrative, right?
just put it in my notes.
Yep, okay.
Very good, very good, thank you. At this time, floor is opened up for citizen comments. No one wants to address the council at this time? Community events?
Holidays and Lady Christmas Parade, December 4th.
December 4th.
December the 4th. Everyone's invited downtown. And Main Street will be filled up most likely, which has been in the past, and it's been a terrific event.
It's the
So we'd like to
best.
see everybody come out, enjoy Christmas, and enjoy the parade. It's been really good over the years. I can't remember now how many years it is, Joe, do you?
Probably close to 30.
Close to 30. Well, I've seen
Oh, I
quite
don't
a
know
few
about
of my
that.
years.
For
Yeah,
the lighted parade, I don't think it's been that
Yeah,
long.
not the lighted parade,
That'd
maybe
be pretty close.
maybe
Oh,
15.
no, longer than
No,
that.
it's been longer.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I think the last parade was like the 27th. We didn't have one last year.
no,
So 28.
Well, we're talking anywhere between 20 and 30, I would guess, so.
That's
That would
longer
be a
than I
very good
remember
guess,
being.
so.
Yeah, because I was before I was on council. And I've been on
Okay,
Saturday.
that's all. Any other event that we should mention? We'd like to see the whole community together,
Will be nice
give
to
us a
see that.
chance. Wish everybody the best of holidays. Because on Thanksgiving's Thursday,
Yep.
as the president of the village, with council, our treasurer and our clerk, I wish our whole community the best wishes for a very happy Thanksgiving.
You're here.
Yep, very good.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
amen.
Good. So, I'm going to entertain a motion for an adjournment.
The time is 7:50. I move to adjourn.
Support.
I just have one comment here that I got in a letter form today. I'm gonna have Mr. Ballard read this because this is pertaining to his department, addressed to me, but it's been our police department's good efforts. And I think we should share that.
Are we coming out of the trouble? or-
And I'll give that letter to you then afterwards.
This is from Chuck Kreiderman and Associates, LLC, and Gary M. Berry, auctioneers. And it's to the Village of Armada, the Village Council, care of Marvin Wollock, President. From Chuck Kreiderman and Associates, Charles P. Kreiderman, 73-600 Church Street, Armada, Michigan. Letter of appreciation for the Armada Police Department. Dear council members, the state of Michigan Department of Treasury hired our firm to run an online auction for their unclaimed coin and jewelry department, which was held on October 9th, 2021. A buyer from Grand Rapids, Michigan purchased 2 gold coins for $5,000, which were paid by credit card, and the coins were shipped registered mail the next day. After delivery, the buyer stopped payment on the credit card, stating fraudulent charge, but had the coins in her possession. Armada Police Officer James Sharp handled the complaint. He immediately contacted the police in Grand Rapids area, and within hours he was able to facilitate return of the coins. Myself and my office are truly grateful for the professional and timely efforts of Officer Sharp and the Armada Police Department. We will be forever indebted. We sincerely want to thank the Armada Village Council, Officer Sharp, and the entire Armada Police Department. Sincerely, Charles P. Kreiderman, Kreiderman and Associates, LLC, auctioneers.
Nice.
Very good.
I thought it was a very good compliment as soon as I read it, and so, we do have a good department, and it's very honorable. So, we will, tell the chief about this letter also, with Mr. Ballard, or show it to him.
Yep,
or
I'll make him a
print it
copy.
off.
make him a copy and put it in
Or
his
Of
box.
course.
Okay,
Make me one too, Michelle.
Yep. Are we've already
Yeah.
adjourned.
we are,
Yeah.
we didn't adjourn, not for,
Oh, we didn't vote?
no, we didn't vote. So,
Oh,
all in favor?
Aye.
That was my words I was
So-
waiting for. Good, thank you, council.
Yep.
And likewise, my family
Lyle?
wishes you a good Thanksgiving also.
7:50.
Thank you.
And then also,
7:54.
hope to see all of us at the holiday parade.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, everybody.